Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into one of the biggest shifts happening in the workplace right now, employee experience. Now, you've probably heard this term floating around, but what is it really, and why does it matter so much? Let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get why employee experience is such a big deal, we have to start with something you've definitely noticed. It feels like every other day someone you know is talking about leaving their job, right? This huge wave of people quitting has been called the Great Resignation. And honestly, it's forcing companies to wake up and completely rethink how they operate. And this isn't just a feeling or a trend piece. The numbers are, well, they're kind of shocking. McKinsey found that up to 40% of people are thinking about quitting their jobs in the very near future. Let that sink in. 40%. That is a massive, massive problem for any business. And it's a huge red flag that the old relationship between employer and employee is fundamentally broken.
So, what's really going on here? What's causing this huge shift? Well, it turns out that the old playbook for hiring and keeping people, it's just not working anymore. The old rules, the things that companies relied on for decades to keep employees happy, they just don't apply in today's world. And this slide really nails the difference. The old way was all about a transaction, right? You get a decent salary, maybe some perks like a gym membership or a company car. But the new way, it's about the whole experience. People now are looking for so much more. They want to know, can I grow here? Does this work give me a sense of purpose? Does it actually fit into my life? It's not just a 9 to 5 anymore. It's a huge part of who we are.
And that brings us right to our main topic. The solution that smart companies are turning to is called employee experience, or you'll hear it called EX for short. And I want to be clear, this isn't just some new HR buzzword. It's a totally different philosophy for how you think about your people. So what is employee experience? The simple way to put it is, it's everything. It's the sum of every single interaction an employee has with their company. We're talking from the moment they first see that job ad, to their interview, to their daily work, the meetings they're in, all the way up to the day they leave. It's the reality of what it actually feels like to work for you. You know, I really love this quote from Deloitte because it just cuts through all the business speak. It boils it down to this simple, really powerful idea. If you make work better for people, they, in turn, become better at their work. It's a win-win. It's that simple. And if you need a really easy way to wrap your head around it, here's the best analogy. Think about customer experience. Companies are obsessed with it, right? They map out every tiny step of the customer's journey to make it amazing and build loyalty. Well, employee experience is taking that exact same mindset and turning it inward. Your employees are your new customers, and you have to earn their loyalty every single day. Okay, so let's make this a little more concrete. How do you actually build a great employee experience? Well, a lot of the thinking in this space points to 3 core environments that really shape an employee's day-to-day reality. Think of these as the 3 main pillars holding the whole thing up. First up, you've got the technological environment. This is all about the tools you use every single day. Is your laptop slow? Is the software clunky and frustrating? Or is everything seamless and easy to use? That makes a huge difference. Then there's the physical environment. And this isn't just about fancy offices with ping pong tables anymore. It's about whether your workspace, whether it's in an office or at home, is actually set up for you to be comfortable and productive. And finally, and you could argue this is the most important one, the culture. This is the vibe. It's how leaders act, how people treat each other, and what the company truly values, not just what it says on a poster. And when we talk about culture, it's not some fuzzy, abstract thing. It comes down to answering some very real questions. Do people actually feel heard here? Do they feel supported by their boss? Do they get recognized for doing great work? And crucially, can they see a future for themselves here? The answers to these questions are what define your culture. All right, so we get what EX is, and we know the pillars it's built on. But how do you actually manage it? Because a great employee experience doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be designed, it has to be intentional, and it has to be something you're always working on. And you have to manage it across the entire employee journey, which is often called the employee lifecycle. It starts way before someone's first day back in recruitment, and it goes all the way through their development and, yes, even to the way they leave the company during offboarding. Every single one of these stages is a chance to make that experience better or worse. Now, a huge part of managing the experience is just listening, and you have to listen constantly. Companies do this with all kinds of tools, from surveys they send to candidates who didn't get the job to regular check-ins with current employees, all the way to exit interviews. The whole point is to stop guessing what people want and start using real data to understand what's working and what's not.
So now for the big question. Why? Why should a business pour time and money into all of this? The answer is simple, because investing in your people is probably the single smartest business decision you can make. It creates this incredible competitive advantage. People sometimes call it a business-to-employee or B2E strategy.
Let's just talk about the hard numbers for a second. According to Glassdoor, it costs, on average, $4,000 to fill one empty position, and it can take almost 2 months to do it. Now think back to that 40% of people thinking of quitting. Suddenly, the cost of not investing in your people's experience starts to look pretty terrifying, doesn't it?
Richard Branson had this famous quote that just perfectly captures the whole philosophy. He said, "Clients do not come first, employees come first." And at first, that sounds a little crazy, but his logic was simple. If you take care of your people, they will naturally take care of your customers. The way you treat your employees is ultimately how your employees will treat your clients. So at the end of the day, a great employee experience isn't just some feel-good initiative. It is a core driver of business success. It leads to people who are more engaged, way more productive, and who turn into the biggest fans and advocates for your brand. That's the real bottom line.
And that really brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. The world of work is changing fast, and the companies that are going to win in the future will be the ones that understand the difference here. So ask yourself about your own workplace. Is it just a place you go to get a paycheck? Or is it a place where you feel like you truly belong? The answer to that question really says it all. Thanks so much for tuning in.